Do you know that inside of yourself there's a power that you actually have that can produce happiness, prosperity, and peace? Do you know that inside of yourself you have a power to where you can possess basically anything that you naturally desire? If you're actually watching this right now, then basically that's just letting me know that you're at a point in your life to where you can actually feel the things that I'm referring to. I'm going to share with you some experiences that I've gone through to where I had to dig down within myself and pull that power out. Before I do that, I just want to tell you a little story. The story that I want to tell is about a young man. This young man was born in a very humble beginnings. He was born to a single mom. She was only 15 years old, so she was basically a child raising a child. I want to tell you a story about the young man's dad. His dad didn't even acknowledge the fact that the child was his. He experienced his mom be emotionally and physically abused by his stepfather. Sometimes he would actually be used as a shield to protect her, from when he would go into his rage points. What ended up happening was it affected him in school. In the 3rd grade, this young man actually was held back. The teachers said that his reading level wasn't up to par. His reading level wasn't up to par because he couldn't focus on anything like that due to everything else that was going on at home. When you hear all these things, it's pretty tough. It's like someone who has experienced a very, very rough childhood. I know this firsthand because that young man was me. Now, what does this do to me growing up? Basically, it developed some demons. And when I say demons, this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about anxiety. I'm talking about depression. I'm talking about not being able to properly communicate. The anxiety came from experiencing the mental and physical abuse to his mom. When I say depression, that came from, a young man knowing that his dad didn't even want to say that he was his. When I say basically communication issues, there was nobody there to actually speak with this young man about the problems that he was going through. So he had to carry that all the way through his adolescence. So what was my solution? My solution was to go to the military, because coming up, I felt that since I was lacking a lot of things in certain areas, one thing that I probably needed was discipline. Because being young, what happened was I started making a lot of immature mistakes. They could have been avoided if I would have had a mentor, if I would have had somebody to talk to actually guide me in the right direction. So I served my country proudly. But the only thing was, when I went to the military, I didn't go expecting to go to war. That created a whole nother element of issues, and everything that I basically was going through was elevated to another level. Now you're put into a wartime situation. You're seeing friends, you're seeing other people lose their lives. Now it was to the point of where I really don't want to be around anybody. I really didn't know how to express myself to individuals who didn't experience the same things that I went through. But what I'm here to tell you is that even though you go through dark moments in your life, there's light at the end of the tunnel. I listen to a lot of motivational speakers and a lot of inspirational individuals, and one person in particular that I listen to is Les Brown. And basically he had a saying, a quote, and the quote goes, "If you fall down, make sure you fall on your back, because if you look up, then you can get up." You can either choose to let your self-esteem be low. You can choose to have anxiety to where you really don't want to communicate with other people, or you can change it. And see, a lot's changed in my life since going through that. I mean, God blessed me to where I have a beautiful wife with 4 beautiful daughters. So whenever I would get to a point of where I would feel low, I would think, you know what? If you disappeared today, you would hurt a lot of people besides yourself. And what that did for me is it made me look internally at it from a whole different perspective. There is this inner power that I'm talking about. And what I like to do is, through a series, I want to share with you how you can actually reach that inside of yourself and develop a certain confidence within you to where you value life. And there's a motto that I always go by. That motto is, I will not fall, I will stand tall. I use that because that gave me the confidence that I needed to move forward. In my next segment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to develop financial freedom. What does that do? That gives you prosperity. I'm going to show you about giving back. And what does that do? That gives you peace. And lastly, I'm going to show you about how the universe worked that inner power out in me to give me the happiness that I knew I was capable of having. My name is Michael Thomas. See you next time.